Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Today we're going to be studying an amateur fight, a little bit lower level, but these are still pretty good boxers. So not on the Beterbiev and the Usyk level, but this is the national Golden Gloves in US, and they're like the open elites, so they're still very good. I've picked this fight here and this round from this fight. I think in the red is Eric Valencia, and the blue is Garrett Rice. Hope I haven't butchered it, but yeah, I've just picked these random amateurs, and I watched a little bit of this fight and it was very good. I think it gets stopped by an injury, unfortunately, but it was really good. So yeah, if you want to watch that, it's on Parallel 8's channel. I don't know if any of you watch Parallel 8, but it's very good channel. Always post great sparring, always post high definition footage of the Golden Gloves and everything like that. So please check them out. Anyway, let's get to it. I haven't watched it too much either, so I'm pretty new to this as well. I'll just be referring them to red and blue today, okay? Alright, let's go. So, they both come out, and the first thing that red's going to do is throw a touch jab. He steps in straight away. Blue's going to get a parry hand on it, and he's going to go backwards a little bit, raise his guard. So blue's in a, already it looks backwards. He's just raising his guard, using his parries if he needs to. Obviously, red's now going to feint it out, so he steps forward, now feints. This is good looks versus looks for both of them. He feints again. Blue steps back, respects the distance. And then what red's going to do here is he's going to try walk forward. He's going to feint, come low, and then go for a 3. So he goes 1 as the hook around to the arm, then 2 to the body, and then the third one, trying to land it around the head. And as you can see, what happens is, as he comes in, squares up straight away and gets caught with his check left hook. If we watch blue, he's stepping back, he's looking for a counter. You can see him lean over and put his right hand out, and he's going to see him coming in. He's going to parry 3 and then check 3 again, and then he's out of there, okay? They reset, they get back into the center of the ring, and now they're using their looks again. Red's going to be using his double jab to get in, even if it's a half jab or a feint, which sort of backs blue up onto the ropes, as you can see here. Okay, let's keep watching. Red's using his looks forwards, and then as you can see, after these slips, he touch jabs near the shoulder, tries to pull away from this right hand in order to look for a counter. So you can say this touch jab was actually to just bait out the counter, tries to pull away with it. It looks like he kind of does, but not sure if he's quick enough. It might land. And then a hook to the body and a hook to the head, and I think that lands really well. Blue's a very good counter puncher. As you can see, he's waiting here, pulls the trigger, roll 2, and then he tries to come back with a 3, and then bends at the waist and gets caught there. And now it kind of looks like he's in a stationary defense and just going up and down with his bends at the waist before exploding back in with a 1-2. Red does the right thing here, and after he uses his attacks, he steps back out, he sees the next attack coming, and then he just bends at the waist into a clinch. And then a little bit of manhandling. Blue goes down. Oh, and by the way, just to be completely sure, I'm referring to the head guards and the gloves, yeah? For the colours, not their shirts, because obviously it would be the opposite. Anyway, so okay, they're going to get in a similar exchange. Red's going to come forward with a touch jab. He's going to raise his guard, use his slips. He then looks for a counter, parry, goes low, and then 2 to the body, 3 to the head. And if we look at blue, he's looking for a counter as well. He jabs, sees the level change, going to try check with a hook there, which really goes well. He then steps back, and he's out of range. This is a really good match so far. So blue's going to reset to his left here, and red's going to cut him off. And then he's going to use the touch jabs. They both trade jabs here, but blue sort of gets the better of it. He just pops it out a little bit with more intent. And then red's trying to stalk forwards, uses high guard look here. It changes his guard a bit. Deceptively uses his lead hand to just wave it about. Then he's going to touch. He's going to wait, test out the waters, touch again. And then he's going to come around with a hook, 2, hook again. And great defense shown by blue so far. He's giving him looks here. He jabs, steps back, a little slip to the inside there. He then goes into this Philly shell look, steps back, and then parries. And then he's going to keep control of that lead hand with the parry. And then he's just going to use some stationary defense here, turn the shoulders, and then try to come back with his right hand. before coming around with this left hook as well. It was a sort of bait by red to throw this 3 because he throws it, then steps back out of range, waits, and then tries to look for a counter. The main thing I'm seeing with red is that he squares up a bit too often, and he does get caught with his check hook. Obviously, timing-wise, they're both clearly really good at it. The sharper counter punches are coming from blue. Again, after finishing his counter, blue's going to step back in, and he's going to jab in, which is going to get parried, and 2 over the top, but it doesn't land as he bends at the waist, and then they're back into this clinch. So now what we're going to see is red actually advance to go into distance for a 3. He's going to shuffle forward, jab to the chest and the gloves, which is excellent. You see blue in this Philly shell position. He's not going to stop that. He's just going to keep moving backwards. They're both using a little bit of hand feints here. He's creeping in, closing the distance, using his slips, and then he goes jab high, change his level, 2 to the body, 3 to the head, which is good work. Blue's going to try to retaliate straight away. Comes in with his 1, 2, and does he come with a third shot? He does. These are obviously good amateurs because they're throwing 3s and 4s. But yeah, as you can see, he pivots off. If we look at red, he's going to parry the first one, bend his waist under the second, and then because he's got this nice tight guard here, just lands on the right glove of red. And then they're both going to try left hooks as they step back, and none of it lands. Red breaks his base a little bit, readjusts it, and then is back into the exchange. I think what I'm finding interesting so far from blue is, as sharp as he is a counterpuncher, red is obviously playing the long game of looks forward and consistent 3s, and even bait him into counters sometimes as well. So my worry, and this obviously develops as the fight goes on, is that blue is holding his feet way too much. Anyway, red comes back in, touches the right glove straight away. As you can see, he's aiming for it. Then red sneakily slips inside here and then just pops the right hand off whilst blue is throwing a jab, and they both trade here. Blue's going to try to come back with his right hand here and lands well on the shoulder before they break off from this exchange. They come back in, and red's going to straight away squash the distance with a jab. He sees blue in this high guard and is just going to try work the body here. Blue tries for the left hook counter, doesn't land, so he gets control of the back of his head and tries to push him off for any more counter shots. They get separated. Let's keep watching. Again, the parry versus the jab here. One's in looks backwards, one's in looks forwards. They're both using head movement looks. Blue's in a nice high guard right now. Red's keeping on with these touch jabs. Really, really good work here. And then he's going to level change here and come around with the hook, which is a really good idea. He's thrown a lot of touch jabs already, and he knows that the parry hand's quite reactive. So he's going to feint it. As you can see, the parry hand comes down from blue, and he's going to try come around with a hook as well. And from here, I know it's hard to see, but after sort of landing this left hook, he just keeps it on him. They get into this close range, and then red's going to throw a right uppercut here, and then a great left hook to the body here. And if we watch blue, he's got his head low here. He's sort of got his right forearm out in front, and then he's just going to try go for the hook to the body and the 2 over the top. Really nice exchanges here. After taking this 2, red has to readjust his feet. He's going to go straight for the 2. He's going to go straight for the backhand, and he's going to try to slip off a bit. Who's in the better base position right now? It's blue, and he's just going to throw a lovely, lovely 2 and an offline slip before throwing the 3 and missing quite wildly because red's also drilled good habits and rolled under. After missing, blue's going to do the right thing, have this short reset to the right before walking forwards. They're both respecting each other quite well. Another touch jab from red. As you can see, blue is very stationary right now, and he's just going to come over the top straight away with the right hand. Look at that. Boom. Very nice shot. And he's going to try the 3. If we're looking at red here, after this touch jab, he's going to try load up. You can see the step in. Look at his lead foot. He steps in for the backhand. Loses him a little bit of time because he's squaring himself up for the left hook. This is more of a throwaway 2, and he gets caught right in between. Doesn't manage to land his left hook, and it doesn't manage to land his right hand as well. Blue resets off to the left very shortly. Red's going to follow him. Keep using his looks. He's going to now try again that setup where he goes low, feints around, and comes up with a hook but blue can see it coming. And after the step back, he just sort of does this weird slip on the inside here before stepping away. And what's blue doing here? He's going to look for a counter now. He's going to be in this Philly shell position. He's going to turn the shoulder, try to come back up with the right uppercut, which lands and pulls away from the counter before throwing off another two, and pulling away before throwing off another left hook. And then, only then, he rolls and tries to bend at the waist. If we look at red in this exchange, however, he's using his high guard. He tries to throw three, 1, 2 to the body, 3 to the head. It misses. He steps back, goes back for a right hand, rolls under the right, and then they engage in this clinch. They're both excellent, excellent boxers, man. And this is why we talk about drilling good habits. As you can see with red, he's throwing the two, rolling under. And blue is throwing his shots using a defensive movement. It's very nice work from both. First thing that's going to happen out of this exchange, blue, who has a low lead hand right now, is going to jab up and boom, catch red coming in. And then they're going to go back into their looks. One's looks forwards, one's looks backwards. They're just keeping the space between themselves. They both sort of trade jabs here. One's a bit more square on than the other, isn't he? If we look at red in this instance, he's a lot less sideways on than blue is. And that's the little difference in their jabs right here. Red's going to feint the right hand here. Blue's going to get into this defensive reaction. Red's then going to try for a counter. He tries this sort of pull three. It misses quite wildly. And after this defensive movement from blue, he's just going to pull away, sees the left hook, and he just thinks, okay, what's a simple counter I can land? Boom, great jab again. And after that, he's just using his head movement to just feint red out. He does about 3 feints back here. Look, if he slips to the inside, tries to come up with a left uppercut, slips to the outside, comes back up. Just great 3 feints there. If you just look at red, he's not really sure where the next punch is coming from, and he ends up just bouncing out. Forcing someone into that with feints buys you a lot of time. So red's just been feinted out quite a bit here, so he's going to use his looks forwards and go back to the basics. What's the basics? A nice lead hand. He knows his range from the touch jabs, so now he's going to creep in and then throw out his jab. Boom, great jab over the top there. Then after that lands, level change, 2 to the body, and no 3 to the head for this one. So blue here's looking for a counter. He pulls, throws the 2 over the top, and then he's going to pull him in after this level change just to make sure he doesn't throw that 2 to the body afterwards. Ref's breaking them up again and they get back to it. They're both in these sort of high guard positions. And then blue's going to do something quite interesting here. He's going to throw out his right glove and sort of frame it on the lead hand of red here, so that when he comes around with a hook, it's sort of squashed. He's going to keep it out even as well. He comes forward again. He's going to do it again, get him to square up as he tries to come around with another left hook. And then, boom, lands this great left hook of his own. Now, I don't recommend trading left hooks with anyone. You never know, it's a dangerous game. But here he does it quite well. Blue's then going to step back in, use the touch jab, keep it there for a second, and then use his blocks. Look how beautifully he blocks this. Block the left hook, wonderful block with the right glove. And then he even has his left glove up just in case on the other side. Okay? It's our sticks drill 1-on-1. Red's doing a good job here of using his head movement to set up his shots, and he also uses some good blocks. He's pretty squared up, red is. He's going to feint low, try to come up with the right hand, but gets caught with this great right hand from how sideways on blue is. Obviously, blue almost pulls at the left glove, and then he throws a very offline right hand. Very, very common in the amateurs, actually, that when they throw their right hands, it is so off the center line, it's insane. You rarely see it in the pros. Anyway, they recover from this, and blue's going to go for the exact same exchange. Feints out his left hand, 2 over the top. This time he sort of squashes his distance and comes in, and then red wants to work the body, and ref's probably going to break them up here. They get back into this exchange. Blue's leaning over here. He jabs up. Excellent jab. Obviously, that low jab from the waist is very hard to watch, especially when it comes up through a high guard. Red's going to try retaliate and throw a touch jab back. He's then going to keep stalking forwards. He's going to feint here and make sure he parries this jab back from blue. then touch jab again, but this is almost geared towards the air, which is nice. And then Blue's going to do something really nice here. He sets his feet a bit. He's looking for a counter, and he's going to set up by himself. He's going to jab in, and then straight away, as you can see, it's a half touch jab. He doesn't really care about it. And then steps in with a slip, and then tries to come up with a left uppercut. Very, very nice intent and very sharp. Red steps out of range here, regains his base, and comes forward again. He uses that long jab straight away, just grazing the face of Blue. And then he's going to use his high guard here, feint the left hand, and come in with the 2, which gets pulled away from. Blue's going to pull and jab over the top. Excellent counter there. And as he can see, Red is about to come forward again. As soon as Red drops his left glove, right hand over the top excellently. And since his own left hand is down, he gets caught by a 2 as well as he steps back and moves off. But really, really nice work from Blue right now. Red's going to change things up here. It hasn't really been working so far, so what he's going to do is he's going to throw about 4 jabs here, Red. He's going to throw 1, 2, 3, 4, and then only then he tries to land the right hand, basically feinting out the defensive reactions from Blue. You see Blue almost gets overwhelmed here because he's slipping inside, he's pulling away, he gets hit, he's trying to slip again, and then he's sort of being timed on his head movement right now. And in retaliation, Blue's now going to straighten himself up. He sees his opponent's hands are a little low. Red tries to jab again, but he gets caught in between and then gets caught with this right hand over the top here. He then resets a little bit, Red, and he's going to try come back in straight away with a 3. 1, 2, 3. Obviously, Blue here has just used great defense, slip inside, and pull away. As soon as he thinks the combination's finished, however, gets back into this Philly shell stance and just gets hit with this little jab here. Now Red's what he's going to do. He's going to try overwhelm again with the double jab. So he's just jabbed here. He's going to jab again, get control of the right glove. Then he's going to change his level, go low, 2 to the body, 3 to the head, uppercut as well. And then sort of gets close and smothers here so that the counter from Blue is sort of smothered as well. And then once he's on the inside here, he's going to try work the body a little bit. But I think the ref's going to... Oh, yeah, and he even gets into the ropes. Okay, let's get back into it. And Red here tries for the right hand, which I think just grazes Blue. He's going to step in again. Red's looking for a counter now, and as he sees the jab come up, he's going to try slip inside, which doesn't really work, and then throw the right hand off the top, which is good, but he does get caught with the right hand as he steps in as well. See what Red might have done wrong here, and it'd be interesting to see how he actually ends up doing a lot better in the second round, Red, even going on to win this fight, I think. I don't know if it was an injury or a stoppage, I don't remember. It's interesting because right now he's committing a lot to his 3s and counters, and is just getting out-timed by Blue. In this situation, in your bouts, if you come up against such a great counterpuncher, would just be to test out the waters. The best way to beat a counterpuncher is to keep breaking their rhythm. It's very, very important. And how do you do that? By feinting them, by keep throwing different looks, by throwing the shots to the gloves in the air, stepping back out of range, all of these things. It's very important. It's very, very tricky as well to do. A lot easier said than done. But as you can see, Blue here, he's just waiting. He jabs, he gets caught, and then still throws his 2 counter, and then steps back again. Red's bouncing back in, and then the end of the round. Now, honestly, a really excellent round of boxing there. I hope you see the differences in level, where their decisions and their options are a lot more geared towards doing 1 or 2 things really, really well, especially in terms of punching. And in these fights, it's kind of like, who's got the best timing is kind of going to win these exchanges over and over. And you can also see how being sideways on helps you a ton instead of squaring up. But anyway, please watch this fight in full because it's obviously a very high level fight to watch. And yeah, I hope you enjoy it. The next breakdown will be Lomachenko versus Selimov, so I'll try to upload that in the week. All right, see you guys. Happy training.